All right, last two problems for Unit 2. Again, a domain and range problem. So I copied it over, but number 7 gives you a domain and asks you to find the range values. So I'm going to do this by hand and then I'm going to check my answers. But this is the equation that I got to plug these x's into. So basically, I'm going to make a t-table. These are all my x values, and they're going to go in here. So when x equals 3, and I'm going to run out of room real quickly here, guys, so be patient. I'll have y minus 5 equals 3 over 2 times 3 plus 1. So first things first, I know I say that a lot, sorry. I've got y minus 5 equals 3 over 2 times 4. I'm following order of operations by doing whatever's in the parentheses first. Next, 3 over 2 times 4. Y minus 5 equals, well, the 2 and the 4 are going to reduce, and it's going to leave me with 6. And let's make sure my camera's not blocking this. Okay. And then finally, y minus 5 equals 6. Add the 5, and I get my first answer, y equals 11. Yay! Next row in my t-table, x equals 1. Y minus 5 equals 3 over 2 times 1 plus 1. All right, order of operations, do what's in the parentheses first. Y minus 5 equals 3 over 2 times 2. Those 2's will reduce. That gets me y minus 5 equals 3. Now I get to add the 5, and y turns out to equal 8. All right, answer number 2 done. On to 0. Y minus 5 equals 3 over 2 times 0 plus 1. That gets me y minus 5 equals 3 over 2 times 1. That gets me y minus 5 equals 3 over 2. Ooh, I get some fractions in here. Now, when I add 5 to 3 over 2, I'm actually going to make it a common denominator. So I'm going to make this 10 over 2. All right. If you want a common denominator of 2, you have to multiply the numerator and denominator by 2. So 5 over 1 became 10 over 2. That gives me my final answer of y equals 13 over 2. All right, last but not least, -3. When x equals -3, y minus 5 equals 3 over 2 times -3 plus 1. That's going to get me y minus 5 equals 3 over 2 times -2. These two values will reduce to just leave behind a -1. That gets me y minus 5 equals -3. And then when I add the 5 to both sides, I get my final answer, if I can fit it, of y equals 2. So my new values, or my range values, will be 11, 8, 13 over 2, and 2. Now, yet again, I'd like for you to meet my friend, check your answer in Desmos. So, watch this. Y minus 5 equals 3 over 2, parentheses, x plus 1. Now, if I do this correctly, I can tell it x equals 3. And when x equals 3, oh, look at that, 3 comma 11. There we go. All right, next, 1. Click on that dot where they meet up. 1 comma 8. All right, next, 13. Oh, sorry, not 13 over 2. That's the answer. 0. 6.5. Now, I'm not a fan of 6.5, but if we go into one more row, you can tell it 6.5, and then that little option to make it a fraction pops up. Ta-da, 13/2. All right, lastly was x equaled -3, -3, find where they meet up, and there's my answer of 2. All right, so yay, you get to check your answers. It's a lovely feeling. All right, last problem for Unit 2, graph all possible solutions. So basically all that it wants you to do is graph it and make sure you shade in the proper direction. So if we're asked to graph all possible solutions, we need to solve for y. Because to graph this by hand, you need it in y equals mx plus b form. So I'm going to subtract 5x first. And that gets me -3y is greater than or equal to -5x plus 6. And then I'm going to divide the -3. Now, anytime you multiply or divide by a negative number, if you have an inequality, you must change the direction of your sign. That's why I circled and flipped that greater than or equal to sign, so that it is now y is less than or equal to. Now we're just going to finish the other side. Negative over a negative is positive, so positive 5/3 x. Positive over a negative is negative, so -2. So here's my slope. Here's my y-intercept. So I find -2, I put a dot, and then I count up 5 and over 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3. Remember, slope is rise over run. This has an equals to bar, so I give it a nice solid line. And then I'm going to graph below because that says y is less than. So if we're saying less than, that means that we find the line and we go less than the line. So in this case, less than the line, shades below. Now, yet again, I'd like for you to meet my friend. Check your answer in Desmos. So I'm just going to type in exactly what I see here. 5x minus 3y is greater than or equal to 6. Huh, look at that, beautiful. It matches. All right. See, it's even got the same y-intercept. And if we did it right, that point that I graphed was 3, 3. It's struggling, but looks about the same. All right, there we go. Finished Unit 2. Yay!